at some point, most of us made a deal we didn't consciously agree to. The deal goes like this. I will be valuable when I'm productive enough, successful enough, helpful enough, available enough, when I have proven sufficiently and repeatedly that I deserve to be here. And we've been living inside this deal ever since, running a life structured around earning something that was never actually up for grabs. Today we're talking about self-worth. And I'm going to say something early that I want you to carry through the rest of this episode. Your worth is not a result. It's not a reward. It was never something you needed to build. It was the starting condition. Now that we're clear on that, a very warm welcome to part 2 of our Power of Joy series, where I want to get clear that your worth was never a problem. We are talking about self-worth today. My name is Jackie. Welcome to Who I Am, your guided meditation podcast for a strong mind, balance, and bold moves. Let me guess, there are some sentences that have been running in the background of your life for a very long time, which might also be why you are here today. You might not hear them as sentences, they might just feel like a low-level hum. A slight anxiety, a tendency to overdo or underclaim. But if you slow down enough to find the words underneath that feeling, they often sound something like this. I'm not strong enough. I don't really deserve it. If I say no, they will leave. I have to prove myself. I need to be strong. And I don't need help. Life out there is not safe. And let me be clear on something, that these sentences, they're not weaknesses. They are literally like a program that has been running on your system for most likely decades. Incredibly sophisticated, deeply installed patterns that formed at a time when they made sense, when they belonged to something that was meant to help you survive, and when that kind of approval was meant for protection, when making yourself useful was how you stayed safe in a room. They did their job. They did their job well because they imprinted on you so much that you carried them along ever since. They kept you in the game. But you're in a different game now. And running on decade-old programming in a life that was genuinely evolved is a bit like navigating a new city with a map from 20 years ago. And even Microsoft needs updates. Your Mac needs an update regularly, more than we're actually comfortable taking. So the streets have changed, and the map hasn't. Similar to making these updates, let me explain further what the reprogramming looks like. Because it's not an overnight solution, and it's also not dramatically. but it's consistently and much more quiet than you would think. It looks like catching the moment when the old sentence runs and then offering a new sentence. Not by forcing positivity over the pain, not overriding the feeling. It's more about transforming it and introducing a new way where that old sentence said, I don't deserve it. The new one will say, I am allowed to receive. Where the old one says, if I say no, I will be rejected. Try my boundaries protect what's right for me. And when the old sentence says, I have to prove my worth. What if my worth is unconditional and has never required proof? Now, these are not affirmations to paste on a mirror. They are, with time and good intention, a new operating system. So each of us, we have our own way of figuring out how to reprogram this. But if you don't feel this from the very start, here is one top secret skill on how to get started reprogramming these. Fake it till you make it. Because since you are programmed with the old sentences and with that old program, hearing these new ones, they might not seem real and they might not seem true to you in the beginning. That means that you have to repeat them over and over and over again until the new program is downloaded. So literally until you have repeated it enough for yourself to believe. And trust me, this is not about faking it in the end. This is really just how to get you started. It is the same way that you have programmed yourself with that, sorry to say, old shit. This is the new and the more positive way of programming yourself in the future. And the reason this matters for how you move through the world, in your work, in your relationships, in every decision that involves trusting yourself, is that when your sense of worth is conditional, everything is harder. Every yes is shadowed by, but am I good enough to make this work? Every no is followed by guilt. Every investment in yourself is interrupted by, but do I really deserve this? When your worth becomes unconditional, not perfect, not healed, just unconditional, all your decisions get cleaner. You start moving from that different place, not from a place of lack, reaching for validation, from something a lot more solid than that, from the place of love. Take a breath with me. In through your nose. Slow and full. Hold for a second. And release fully. I know this requires so much honesty. I want you to think of one area of your life where you are still trying to earn something you already have. It might be someone's approval, or it might be your own. Think of this particular area in your life being really, truly honest with you, where you are hearing these sentences. One of them. And then once you have this situation in your mind or this sentence that really speaks to you, maybe it is one of the ones that I mentioned earlier, maybe it is one completely different, but that one pops out like the sun behind the clouds. Just notice it. No judgment. And just recognize. Because that recognition alone is the beginning of your new program. As I said, you have been training for decades inside a system that taught you your value is conditional. That's not a character flaw. That's just human experience. And it can be unlearned. Not all at once, but steadily, with the right awareness, and most importantly, in your own time. Your worth was never the problem. It never needed to be earned. It just needed to be remembered. I will see you next Sunday for the third part of our Power of Joy series. For everything else, whether you seek to connect, whether you will seek to find more inspiration and more insights, hop on Instagram at healwithjackie or take a look at the hub whoiam-official.com. I have a free session for you, so follow the link in the description here, or even just reach out, connect, and then let's talk. If you're good, if you're set, then I look forward to welcoming you back here next Sunday, and I send you all my love and light.